So now that we have knowledge of 3 5-stars that are highly likely to be released with patch 1.1 for Honkai Star Rail, which of those 5 stars should you be prioritizing your resources on? What's up, everybody? This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. And before we talk about this topic, again, as a reminder, if you enjoy what you see on this channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. Leave a like on this video, share it out to your friends, and also let me know in the comments section below which of these 5 stars are you prioritizing and what are you most excited for patch 1.1. Also, if you could really help your boy out, I've been very motivated to start making content again on my YouTube channel. However, the YouTube algorithm has really kicked me in the butt. So if you guys can just take the time to like the video and, share it out to your friends, so that way YouTube starts noticing me a little bit more, definitely will help your boy out, and it'll inspire me to make more content for you guys on not only Honkai Star Rail, but other things that I really enjoy from a gaming perspective. Okay, so we know that there's 3 5-stars that are likely to be released for patch 1.1. We have Jing Yuan, we have Luocha, I think I said that correctly, and then we also have Silver Wolf. So which of these 3, from an objective standpoint, should you be prioritizing your resources on, especially if you are either a free-to-play player or if you are a light spender? Now, if you are a whale and you're going to be planning on getting all of these characters, or if you are of somebody that really likes one of these characters over the other, let's say, one of these characters is your husbando or one of these characters is your waifu, then by all means, your enjoyment is your priority. So if you like any one of these characters more than the other, or if you already have plans on pulling for all of them, or if you plan on skipping all 3 of them, then you do you, as long as you're having fun. But again, from an objective standpoint, which of these 3 characters should you prioritize your resources on? And I'm going to be going over them one by one and giving my own personal opinion on, where their priority is in terms of which ones you should be considering to pull. So we're going to start off with Jing Yuan. Reason being is that he was already hinted at being the next limited character release. So Jing Yuan, in a nutshell, is an AoE damage dealer. So his path is erudition. His element is lightning. His whole caveat is he deals a ton of AoE damage, lightning damage, and then he has like the lightning god, or the lightning lord, which pretty much adds follow-up attacks. And it looks really cool when you see the lightning lord deal an attack, because you see this giant being come out and dish out damage. So he is all about high damage numbers from an AoE perspective. But to those of you that had the chance to test him out during the closed beta, it is found that he can actually be pretty competitive in single target fights as well. So his whole deal is damage, whether from an AoE standpoint, whether from even a single target standpoint, and the Lightning Lord is there to add all those follow-up damage. With that being said, my personal opinion on the priority for Jing Yuan is, I want to say he is at the bottom of your priority amongst 3 characters that we're talking about. And the reason being is, in a lot of these gacha games, especially turn-based JRPG gacha games, usually the DPS characters are the ones to get power crept first, because they're always going to be releasing like this next new toy. And usually that new toy is going to have something that's going to really like impress you, like with big numbers, big animations, lots of damage. But in the end, they do tend to get power crept. Now I know with a game such as like Honkai Star Rail, with the same developer as Genshin, they do do nerfs, they do buffs and things like that to really fine-tune characters. But in the end, usually the damage dealers are the ones to get power crept first. So in my opinion, because of that, even though Jing Yuan is by no means bad, he's amazing, if you already have some great damage dealers on hand, like for example, if you're like me and you went crazy for Zila, who's a phenomenal damage dealer, she's not AoE, but she can actually do really well in AoE fights because of the way that her resurgence effect works, then you probably might want to skip Jing Yuan. As good as he is, if we're being objective here, he's a damage dealer. Damage dealers get power crept the quickest when it comes to these turn-based JRPG gacha games. But that is my opinion on Jing Yuan. Again, if you like him and you still are planning on pulling for him, nothing wrong with that. He's an amazing character, but in terms of an objective standpoint and which unit to prioritize, he is at the bottom of the list for me. Okay, so the next character that I'm going to be talking about is Silver Wolf, who we had a chance to play as her at the very beginning of the game during the tutorial. It was quite a tease for them to do that because she wasn't even out yet, technically. But Silver Wolf is a Nihility path. She is of the Quantum element, and her role is, I see her as like an offensive support character, utilizing her debuffs to allow your characters to be able to deal more damage. And the biggest unique thing that she offers to your party is her skill has a chance of inflicting a weakness on enemies based on whatever element your ally, a particular ally has. So let's say like you have Trailblazer Fire in your party and you have Silver Wolf in your party, and let's say the enemy you're fighting is not weak to fire. Well, if you use Silver Wolf's skill, she has a chance of putting that fire weakness on them, regardless of whether they're or not if they're weak to it. So that allows your fire characters or that element to be able to deal more damage, and it allows you to be able to hit that breakpoint much quicker compared to if they didn't have it. So not only that, but she also reduces the damage resistance on that particular attack type or particular element. And then also with her regular skill, she's able to have a random chance of inflicting a bug on enemy targets. And this bug is in the form of either an attack down debuff, a defense down debuff, a speed down debuff, and her ultimate itself also has a chance of reducing enemy defense before dealing out a ton of damage. So Silver Wolf is really in a unique spot for me because of the fact that she is an offensive supporter with debuffs. It places her in a really unique position in that she is a very flexible character to use. Based on her kit, you could literally slot her in any party, and because she's able to amplify any one of your party members' damage, she just brings so much value to the party. And to me, it really depends on the scenario. So this is how I prioritize Silver Wolf. So because she's so flexible, if you don't have 2 healers yet, if you're still stuck with Natasha, I would say I would put her at the second priority of this list, because as we know, at the end game content, there's going to be content you're going to be going through that requires 2 parties. And unless you have heavily geared out units where you could forego not having a healer in the other party, you generally want to have another healer, which is why a lot of people have been saying, oh, you should definitely go for like Bailu after getting Natasha, or try to prioritize getting Bailu, because you want that second healer for that second party. So if you are still stuck without another healer besides Natasha, from my personal perspective, again, I'm trying to be objective, Silver Wolf gets the second priority of these 3 characters. However, if you did manage to get Bailu on top of already having Natasha, then I put Silver Wolf at the top, because she is so unique, and she is one of those characters where, because she is flexible, it's gonna be a while unless they do something really crazy for her to get power crept, because her kit is just so good. So again, that is my take on Silver Wolf. I think she's second priority on this list if you already have 2 healers, but if you're still lacking that second healer, she's gonna be if you're still lacking that second healer, she's gonna be, falling down to second priority. But if you already have 2 healers, then she's going to be top priority for in terms of being objective and prioritizing which unit you want to go for. Now we come to the last character, which is Luocha. He is a healer. We were introduced to him in the Xianzhou storyline. He is pretty unique in terms of being a healer because he's actually quite offensive. His skill is pretty unique because he heals, and then he has this thing called Abyss Flower, which stacks. And what this does is whenever a party member's HP falls below 50%, he's going to automatically get a free skill usage of his healing skill and use it on that ally, which I think is pretty cool that he's able to do that. So then that way he's able to provide like an emergency off heal to somebody that potentially could get KO'd. And not only that, but his ultimate also dispels a buff on the enemy targets, and for every buff that he dispels, he gains a stack of that Abyss Flower. So it's really, really cool. And then he also has this effect where he creates a field effect by consuming 3 stacks of Abyss Flower, and it places this field on enemies. And then whenever, I think the way it works is that whenever you attack that enemy, it's like your party member is healed like a specific amount, based on the damage dealt. But he functions really uniquely as a healer, and because of the fact that he's a healer, if we're being objective about this and you didn't get Bailu, I would say he should be the top of the list priority. If you're talking from an objective meta standpoint of what's going to be useful for you in the long run, because again, you're going to be running into 2 party comp content that's pretty difficult, and if you don't have characters that are super geared out where you can bypass not having a healer because your DPS is just so high, I would personally recommend going for Luocha first, and hopefully you could get lucky on the soft pity with a 50-50 and get him right away. But if you already have a healer, if you already have 2 healers such as Bailu and Natasha, Luocha, who are currently already available in the game, then I would say go for Silver Wolf. That's how I would personally do it. But for me, objectively, Luocha is the #1 priority, especially for those of you that don't have access to that second healer yet. But let me know in the comment section below what your plans are, what your which unit you're going to be prioritizing in terms of the 5 stars that are coming out for patch 1.1. Which of these units are you most excited for? Are you going to E6 them? What are you planning on doing? I'd love to hear in the comment section below. All right, guys, well, this is going to go ahead and conclude the video. Thank you again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and stay blessed, everybody.